What's going on, everybody? My name is Michael Weer, and today we are talking about a brand new horror slash thriller, more on the thriller side, called Infinity Pool. And going into this movie, I didn't know what to think. I heard it was like an artistic expression movie, and I thought, I don't know. I've had a love-hate relationship with those things where I really like one and I really hate the next one. So I went in with low expectations, which is probably the best way to go into movies like this, because coming out, I really had a good time with this movie. Let's talk about Infinity Pool.
Show me how strong you are.
You know, James, you worry they got the wrong man.
And so, guys, the movie Infinity Pool is directed by Brandon Cronenberg, and it stars Alexander Skarsgård as a writer who goes with his wife to an island to find inspiration for his next book. And while he and his wife are there at the resort, they run into another couple, and the woman is played by Mia Goth, and this couple tells them, hey, come with us past the resort, past the compound, out to where we could see the sea. It'll be really nice. We'll just do like a picnic lunch, and it'll be really just a nice couples thing. And so they go do this, and on the way back, after having several drinks throughout the day, and some weird stuff that happens in the forest, they're driving back to the resort, and Alexander Skarsgård accidentally hits and kills a local farmer. Now, not wanting to get caught or be sentenced for murder or anything like that, especially on an island that has nothing to do with the United States, they're like, let's just leave him. Let's just get out of here and leave him. Which is very, I know what you did last summer.
We're gonna fry no matter who takes the fall. Can we leave right now?
No way, are you crazy?
The grill's busted. There's blood everywhere.
And they did, they leave. But then, of course, the next day, the police come and they arrest him. They take him to jail. And when he gets to jail, they tell him, here, this island is different. If you kill somebody, that family is allowed to extract revenge on you in the form of death. And so you're essentially sentenced to death. However, for a sum of money, we can create a full body double of you that we will then give to the family to kill, and you will move on with your life. And this happens. And that's where the movie really gets going. I don't want to spoil anything from this movie because it takes a lot of twists and turns. But that's all I want to say because I don't want to spoil things for you guys. So, Infinity Pool, if that is intriguing to you, check this movie out. If that's not intriguing to you at all, then this movie's not for you. But let's get into my likes and some of my dislikes. I think I want to start with my dislikes this time. Usually I start with likes and then I get to my dislikes and then I give you an overall how I feel. It's the magic of making movie reviews. But I'm going to start with my dislikes this time because they weren't things that stopped me from enjoying the movie, but I think they'll stop the average person from having a good time with the movie. And what I mean by that is there's moments in this movie, because it's like an artistic thriller, there's moments in this movie that go on too long. There's scenes that just don't stop. Like they're going and you get the point and you understand what the director's trying to show you, and then he's like, oh yeah, and 3 more minutes. And it's like, all right, god damn it, I get you. And it's not the strobe lights, not anything like that. It's just these scenes, these really long drawn out scenes of just images, and you're like, get to the point. Now, it didn't not work for me, but the 3 people I was with, that was one of their biggest gripes. And the other big gripes that the other 3 people I was with had were there's some weird imagery. And yeah, it was weird imagery for me too. But again, it didn't make me dislike the movie. But I think, again, the average moviegoer not going to like seeing some of the stuff that they show in this movie. And I'm not talking about just nudity, because there's nudity in a lot of things. There's some really graphic things that they show you in this movie that, again, the average moviegoer is just going to see that and be like, I don't like this movie for that. So those are my dislikes. I think that this isn't the movie for everybody. However, that was not enough for me to dislike this movie. Let me tell you about the things I really liked from it. First thing I really liked about this movie, guys, is it's very tense and it keeps you on the edge of your seat for the entire movie. And what I mean by that is it's not like, oh my god, what's going to happen? But at the same time, you're intrigued the entire way. So when the movie opens and you have that premise that I talked about earlier, and then there's another layer they dump on you, and then there's another layer, and then there's another layer, and then there's a twist to the end, and then another twist, and then another layer. And it was like, holy shit, like, let me catch my breath for a second. I couldn't watch this movie fast enough. I was enjoying every second of this movie, even those long drawn out scenes. It was still keeping me personally very invested in the storyline. And the next thing I like about this movie is it's very thought-provoking. It very much so is a horror thriller, but at the same time, it talks about cultural differences within people. So the rich elite class that feel like they can get away with doing whatever they want because they have money is kind of what they talk about in this movie, because in this movie on this island, there's not really an ultimate consequence. If the consequence is death, but you can essentially pay your way out of it, would you be a decent person still, or would you give in to your instincts and do whatever you wanted because you know you could buy your way out of it? And I liked that cultural question that it had. And I mentioned earlier there were some twists and turns and layers to this movie, and one of the twists in this movie is such a profound twist, in my opinion, that it makes me want to watch this movie again, which gives this movie rewatchability. And that's a big point for me, because most of the time with movies, I'm like, all right, one and done, probably never watch this again, it is what it is. But a movie that makes me want to go back to it, not because I am rewatching the entire Marvel Cinematic Universe and I've got to rewatch that movie. This is a standalone thriller that makes me want to go back to it and rewatch it, because I want to watch it in a different way. Like, once they reveal something towards the end of the movie, you want to rewatch the movie again, but this time with a different point of view. And I love movies that can do that, and to me, it's pretty rare these days. Overall, guys, I will say that I think this is a very good thriller, something I did not expect to say leaving this movie, and I want to see it again. Like, I want to go back to the theater and see it within the next month before it leaves theaters forever. I want to see this movie again. I want to see it from that different angle I talked about earlier. And guys, that's my review for Infinity Pool. If you enjoyed this review, don't forget to hit the like and the share button. If you have seen Infinity Pool and you've got thoughts and comments, put those in the comment section down below so we can talk about it. And finally, if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, make sure you do that, because I have a lot of content coming your way. February has one of my top 10 most anticipated movies of the year list, Knock at the Cabin, which I'll be doing a review for sometime later this week. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.
I still know what you did last summer.